Good morning, everyone. My name is Victoria Zimmer, and I am one of your fitness coaches on board of this beautiful vessel. Now, welcome to Pathway to Yoga class. If you've never done yoga before, this class is for you. If you have done yoga before, this class is also for you because you will recognize a lot of postures that are taken from traditional yoga sequence. Now, as usual, before we start our class, I would like to know if anyone has any medical conditions or injuries that I should know about. Please do tell me as I walk around and check your name with our sign-up sheet. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Now, as I mentioned before, this class is for everyone. We shall try to modify where appropriate, but do tell me if you have done yoga before so that I know who I'm dealing with. Okay, great. I can see some hands over here, over there. Fantastic. Right, well, the Pathway to Yoga sequence is based on Ashtanga Vinyasa style of yoga, which means we are going through a series of standing warm-ups called sun salutations, followed by standing asanas, which very invigorating and help us to connect to our inner strength, followed by some balance and twists, rotations, asanas that help us to find and create that inner balance within ourselves and around us, and of course followed by grounding asanas, which are closer to your stretches at the end of the workout, and followed by beautiful shavasana, the relaxation pose. In yoga, everything that we do is about being present, having that connection between the breath and the movement. So try not to rush. Instead, I encourage you to slow down and deepen your breath, listen to my instructions, and most importantly, enjoy the practice. And as we start the practice with your feet together, stretching out your toes nice and wide. Today we only need our mat and our beautiful selves, but at any point if you need any additional equipment, please let me know and I'll try to look at you as well and see if you need any additional assistance. Press your feet firmly into the mat. Engage through the legs and feel that power in your legs, squeezing your thighs together, wrapping your glutes, engaging through the abdominals, and then stretching out through the arms away from the body, creating space between your fingers, space between your toes, lifting through the chest up, lifting through the crown of your head up into Tadasana, the mountain pose. Allow yourself to feel that strength within, activating every single muscle in your body, pulling the energy from the earth through the body up to the sky. And then on the exhale, release and relax. So you can shake off your arms, shake off your legs, and come back to the position with your feet together or slightly apart. Take a deep breath in, bring your arms through the sides and look up. On the exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Inhale, arms through the sides, lengthening away from your waist, looking up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Inhale, arms through the sides, look up. Notice the gazing instructions. Exhale, hinge at your hips all the way down into our first forward fold position. Relaxing the crown of your head down. Gentle bend through the knees. Inhale here. On the exhale, with a soft spine, vertebra by vertebra, come back up to a standing position. Bring your arms through the sides. Inhale. On the exhale, release your hands down back to your heart. Inhale, arms through the sides, look up, creating the flow and connection. Exhale, breath to the movement. Hinge at your hips, head down. Inhale here.
Exhale through the nose, vertebra by vertebra, come back up to a standing position.
Inhale, bring your arm through the sides, look up. Exhale, hands back down to your heart. Beautiful work, releasing your arms down by your sides. Take a deep breath in, extend through the right arm overhead. On the exhale, reach through the right arm to your left. Look up. Inhale, follow your right arm, extend through the left arm up. Exhale, reach through the right, looking underneath your left elbow. Inhale, look up. Changing your arms. Exhale, one more time to the side. Inhale, follow your right arm, look up. Exhale, following your left arm to the side. Inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, place your feet a little bit wider and perform a gentle rotation from side to side. Bend through the knees, allowing opposite hand to touch opposite side of the shoulder and your lower back. Following with your head and keeping gentle bend through the knees. And then come back to standing. You can rotate gently through the wrists, pedal through the ankles, through the feet, and preparing your body for sun salutations. I invite everyone to step to the side of the mat. Your mats as guests will be facing towards me, short side of the mat towards the teacher's mat. Place your feet together and make sure you have the full length of the mat behind you. Bring your arms through the sides. Inhale, look up. Starting with sun salutation A. Exhale, bend at your hips, relaxing the crown of the head down. Generous bend through the knees. Inhale, lifting up through the chest, keeping your shoulders away from your ears, knees slightly bent, and push yourself forward, feeling the length from your waist. Exhale, bend through the knees and step back with your right foot, relaxing your right knee down on the mat. You can extend your toes, equestrian pose. Keeping your shoulders away from the ears, look forward or up. On your exhale, curl your toes under and step forward with the right foot into a forward fold position. Inhale, hands at your shins or even above your knees, straighten through the spine. Exhale, bend at your hips into a forward fold position. Inhale, arms through the sides, come up to standing, keeping your back straight. Exhale, bring your hands back down to your heart. This time I'll demonstrate with the other side so everyone gets to see the demo. Inhale, bring your arms through the sides, look up. Exhale, bend at your hips, navel to the spine, head down. Hands at your shins. Inhale, lifting through the chest up, straight back, halfway lift. Exhale, bending through the knees, left foot, step back, releasing your left knee down on the floor, extending through the toes, lifting through the chest, equestrian pose. Exhale, curling your toes under, step forward with your left foot. Part of the preparation. Inhale, hands at your shins, lifting through the chest up. Exhale, bending at your hips, relaxing your head down. Inhale, arms through the sides, leading with your chest. Come up to standing. Exhale, palms together and down to your heart. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, arms reach, look up.
Exhale, bend at your hips every time, trying to create the length in the body. Inhale, hands at your shins or above your knees, reaching away from your waist, looking just in front of you. Exhale, bend your knees, fingertips to the floor, step back with your right foot, releasing your right knee down on the floor, extending through the toes, lifting through the chest. Inhale here. On the exhale, curl your toes under. Step forward with your right foot. Forward fold position. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten through the spine. Exhale, bend from your hips. Inhale, arms through the sides, come up to standing, look up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, bend at your hips all the way down. Crown of the head towards your knees. Knees could be generously bent. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands at your shins or above your knees. Exhale, bend your knees, left foot, step back. Release your left knee down on the floor, toes extend, chest lift. Look forward. Exhale, curling your toes, knees off the floor, step forward with your left foot. Inhale, halfway lift, straightening through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, leading with your chest, straight back, come up to standing. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Preparing for sun salutation B. Watch closely as we're adding up more asanas. Inhale, arms reach. Look up and back slightly. Exhale, bend at your hips, head to your knees. Remember to keep generous bend in your knees if necessary. Inhale, lift through the chest up. Exhale, bend through the knees, step back with your right foot. Now option here to keep your toes extended and bring your arms overhead or keeping your hands on the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release your hands down. Lift your right knee off the floor, step back with your left foot, keeping your hands shoulder distance apart. On your exhale, release your knees, toes, hips, and chest down on the floor. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, press into your palms, lift your chest and your ribs off the floor. Baby cobra. Exhale, release your chest down, curl your toes under and push back into the tabletop position first. Inhale here. On the exhale, keep generous bend in your knees, lift your knees off the floor, and then first push yourself away from the floor, creating one straight line from your arms through the torso. Keep slight bend through the elbows and wrap your elbows within. Place your feet shoulder distance apart to create some extra space. If necessary, you can push one heel at a time down towards the floor, warming up through the ankles, through the knees, through the hips, through the back of your legs in our first very dynamic downward facing dog. In and out through the nose. Inhale, bend through the knees. Exhale, step forward with your right foot. Releasing your toes out. And if you were opting for arms overhead, as you inhale, bring your arms up, look up. Exhale, release your hands down, lift your left knee off the floor, step forward to join your right foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, head to the knees. Inhale, bring your arms through the sides, come up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Take a moment here, everyone. Close your eyes, connect to your heartbeat. Inhale, arms through the sides, look up. Exhale, bend at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, hands at your shins, looking forward every time, adding length. Exhale, bend through the knees, right foot step back. Release your right knee down on the floor, deep lunge. Inhale, look up, sky salute. Slight tilt of the pelvis back. Exhale, release your hands down, step back with your left foot, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, knees, toes, hips and chest down on the floor. Slide your hands down slightly so you have 90-degree angle in your elbow joints. Squeeze your upper arms around your torso. Inhale, press into your hands, reach up into full cobra, or use the version before, baby cobra. Curl your toes under. On the exhale, push your hips up, heels down. Option to go through the tabletop position is also available. Take a deep breath in here. Push through the heels down. You can continue to keep generous bend in your knees or allow yourself to straighten your legs, breathing into opening along the legs. Inhale here. Exhale, grounding through your hands, grounding through your feet. On the next exhale, step forward with your right foot. Make extra few adjustments if necessary. Extend through the toes. Inhale, sweep your arms, look up. Keep micro tilt of the pelvis back. Exhale, bring your hands down, curl your toes under, lift your knee off the floor. Step forward with your left foot. Forward fold position. Inhale, lifting through the chest up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, relax through the crown of the head down, forward fold. Inhale, arms through the sides, look up. Exhale, hands down to your heart. Close your eyes. And give yourself a moment to connect to your heartbeat, to your breath, as we're moving into sun salutation C. Inhale, bring your arms through the sides, look up. Exhale, sink with your hips down into a chair pose. Extend your arms overhead, or keep your arms in line with your shoulders. Inhale here. On the exhale, bend forward. Inhale, use your shins or the floor, halfway lift. Exhale, bend through the knees. Place your hands on the mat and jump or step back into the plank. Inhale, On the exhale, lower yourself down or use the knees for support. Inhale, slide forward and up. Option to lift your knees off the floor, upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling over your toes, downward facing dog. Breathing deeply here. Continue to ground and feel the earth under your feet, your hands. Feel the pull. Bend through the knees, look between your hands, keep your hips up high. On the exhale, jump into the chair pose. Step if necessary. Inhale, bring your arms through the sides. Exhale, come up to standing. Take a moment to notice your heartbeat, your breath. Connect to that inner strength within as we're moving into one more cycle of sun salutation C. Inhale, bring your arm through the sides. Look up and back slightly. Exhale, sink through the hips. Feel free to go a little bit deeper this time. If you're keeping your feet together, keep your knees together. If they're slightly apart, knees parallel to each other. On your exhale, straighten your legs, bend forward, forward fold position. Inhale, lift up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend through the knees, place your palms flat on the floor, jump or step back. Light from your core, strong engagement. Exhale, lower yourself down, hover over the mat or lower your knees down. Inhale, slide forward and up. Option to lift your knees off the mat, engaging through the glutes. Exhale, rolling over your toes or use a tabletop for transition. Push through the heels down, lift through the tailbone up, keeping your elbows slightly in. Breathing deeply. In and out through the nose. Inhale, bend through the knees, look between your hands, continue to reach through the tailbone up. Exhale, jump or step forward into the chair pose. Inhale, arms extended as long as the torso or in line with the shoulders. Exhale, hands at your heart. Section 2, standing asanas. Inhale, bring your arms through the sides, look up. Exhale, bend at your hips, forward fold. Inhale, hands at your shins, halfway lift, back straight. Exhale, bend at your knees and step back with your right foot. Position your right foot 45-degree angle towards the front or pointing towards the corner of the room. Make sure your front knee is over the ankle. On the inhale, sweep your arms through the sides, look up. Preparing into warrior one pose. Press into outer edge of your back foot and keep your front knee over the ankle. Your pelvis facing same direction as your front foot. Extending your arms overhead, keeping palms together or shoulder distance apart. Focusing your gaze on one steady spot in front of you. Deepening through the breath, engaging through the back leg. 3 to 5 cycles of breaths each asana. On the next exhale, release through the right arm and turn your back foot out at 90 degrees towards the front or facing towards the ocean or the wall, depending where you are facing. Make sure that the front knee is not falling in. Gently direct it to the outer edge of your front foot and press into the outer edge of your back foot. Extend your arms and create the space between your shoulder blades. Extending away from the heart, infinite amount of energy, love. Peaceful warrior, warrior two. Focusing your gaze on the tips of your fingers of your front arm. Inhale. On the exhale, sink down a little bit deeper. Inhale, straighten through the front leg. Keep micro bend through the front knee. On your exhale, reach forward, hinging at your hips. And then continue reaching with your right arm up as your left hand finds the support into triangle pose. Now you might find that it's going to be at the ankle, at your shin, or maybe even at the knee. If you need to modify, you can bend your front knee slightly, resting your elbow and extending through the right arm up. Alternatively, micro bend through the knee. Looking up or down. Steady pose. The pose of intention, inner strength, inner fire. Inhale, follow your right arm. On the exhale, turn your feet in. At this point, as a teacher, I'll walk around the room to make sure that I'm facing people so they don't look sideways, but instead straight forward. Keeping your feet parallel to each other, engaging through the quadriceps. Bring your arms to the back, interlacing your forearms, getting hold of the opposite elbows. Lifting through the chest up and putting your shoulders away from your ears. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, hinge at your hips into wide stance forward fold. Continue to gently pull your shoulders away from your ears. And be prepared that for some people, it will start with the knees bent. We can continue to hold here, and then with each session, with each exhalation, gently extend through the knees. Sink forward through the head, bending from your hips. Keeping the body weight in the middle of your feet versus your heels or your toes. And engaging through the quadriceps, getting length and space in the lumbar spine. On the inhale, reaching with your chest, come up to standing. On the exhale, release your arms and step to the short side of the mat. Now, as a teacher, I'll walk to the other side of my mat, or maybe even to the other side of the room, depending where the guests are, as we're preparing for the second side. Inhale, bring your arms through the sides, reach up. Exhale, hinge at your hips all the way down, relaxing the crown of your head. Inhale, hands at your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, bend through the knees, fingertips to the floor, left foot step back, and adjust the position of your back foot. Make sure your heels are in line and your back foot is 45-degree angle towards the front or towards the corner of the room. Front knee over the ankle. Find that strength, that stability from within. Then inhale, reaching up towards the sky with your arms, keeping your palms together or slightly apart, shoulders away from the ears. Breathing deeply into your inner warrior. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Steady, soft gaze. On the next exhale, lower your left arm and open up your back hip. So your pelvis is now in the open position, facing towards the guests, but you can also walk to the side of the room so that they can see you face to face. Make sure your back foot is perpendicular to the front, and you can choose a point of direction to give them some instruction. The front knee is not falling in, but instead reaching to the outer edge of your front foot. Extending through the arms and keeping your arms parallel to the floor, one extension of the other. Keeping soft gaze at the fingertips of your front hand. Breathing deeply into your inner warrior, peaceful warrior. Sending the rays of love from your heart out into the world. Inhale, slightly lift up. Exhale, sink down a little bit deeper. Inhale, straighten through the front leg. Exhale, hinge at your hips, reach forward, and then all the way down, noticing where your hand lands on this side, whether it's your ankle, your shin, or maybe bent knee and the elbows just above the knee. Extending through the left arm up. Finding your steady triangle, the pose of strength, fire, a spark of inspiration. You can turn your head down if it feels more comfortable for the neck. On your inhale, following your left arm, come up to standing. On the exhale, turn your right foot in so your feet are parallel to each other. Bring your arms to the back, interlacing your fingers, so creating the lock behind your back. If this is not possible for any reason, you can suggest to use a towel or a strap, whatever is available at the gym. Inhale, lifting through the chest up, keeping slight bend through the elbows. On the exhale, reaching through the arms away from the body, and then fold at your hips once again. Relaxing the crown of the head down. Breathing deeply. Our goal here is to support the guests, so demonstrate what is possible for your body, and then walk around and see if any adjustments need to be made. We hold each asana for a minimum of 3 to 5 cycles of breaths. On your inhale, leading with your chest, come up to standing. And on the exhale, bring your back foot to the front, and we meet at the front of the mat. You, as a teacher, walk back to the front of the mat. We're moving into section 3. Inhale, bring your arms through the sides, look up. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Release your knees, release your head. Inhale, hands at your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, bend through the knees, step back with your right foot. Now this time, keep your front knee over the ankle and find your stability here in the lunge. Immediate modification would be to lower the knee down on the floor, lifting through the chest up. Inhale, bring your arms through the sides, palms together, look up. Exhale, reach back a little bit further into the crescent pose. Option to extend your toes. Inhale, come back to the center, lower your hands back down to your heart. Exhale, rotate towards your front knee, keeping your palms in front of you, and look behind you.
for a twist. For those who stayed with their knees off the floor, you can keep yourself up into high lunge position. Inhale, come back to the center. On the exhale, place your hands down shoulder distance apart and step back with your left leg. Reaching back through the hips into downward facing dog position. Keep knees bent or straight, whatever feels right for the body right now. Inhale, reach through the right leg up and open your knee up towards the sky. Exhale, swing your leg forward and place your lower leg across the mat. So this is a position where people take a little longer time to settle. So make sure that the knee feels comfortable and is towards one edge of the mat. Sit first onto the right side and position your shin so it's across the mat. And then start finding your way where you can turn your pelvis facing down. This is the time where we can place a blanket or towel or even the Pilates ball under your right hip. Refer to training for variations. Lifting through the chest up, fingertips on the floor, lifting through the chest, pigeon pose. Breathe deeply, keeping your toes extended in line with your heel. On the next exhale, slowly start making your way down onto your elbows, preparing for a sleeping swan. Try to avoid leaning too much into your right hip and try to keep your pelvis squared, facing down. There's an option to stay here, or you can extend your arms a little bit more, relaxing your forehead down, or use a towel or a ball placed under your forehead for release. Sleeping swan. Inhale slowly, come back to the pigeon, curl your left toes under, and on the exhale, push your right leg back. Inhale here, and on the exhale, step forward with your right and then with your left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, back down to forward fold. Inhale, come back up all the way to standing. Look up. And exhale, bring your hands back down to your heart. Inhale, arms reach, look up. Exhale, bandage your hips all the way down, relaxing the crown of the head down. Here as a teacher, I'll step to the other side of the mat to make sure I face the students as I perform the class. Inhale, hands at the shins, look forward. Exhale, bend through the knees, step back with your left leg this time. Adjust the position so the front knee is over the ankle, sink deep through the hips. If necessary, immediate modification is to release your back knee down on the floor, extend the toes. Inhale, lifting through the arms up, joining your palms together, or option here to keep your arms shoulder distance apart. On the exhale, sink back a little bit more into the crescent pose. Inhale, come back to the center, hands to the heart. Exhale, rotate towards your front leg. For those who keep their knee off the floor, the option is to stay up high. Make sure that the front knee is over the ankle, pushing through the back foot forward. On the next inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, release your hands back down on the floor and step back with the right leg. Straighten through the back,
And remember, downward facing dog is a grounding asana. So allow yourself one more time to settle into your body. Inhale, bend your left knee, open your knee and rotate towards the sky if it is accessible for you. Otherwise, just a slight lift of the left leg up. And then on the exhale, swing your left leg forward. And first take your time to position yourself so that it is comfortable with your lower leg across the mat. Make sure that your knee doesn't feel discomfort and you're trying to achieve the squared position of the pelvis. Use cushion underneath your left glute if necessary. Extend through the toes and take a couple of grounding breaths here. Pigeon pose, keeping your shoulders away from the ears. And on the next exhale, start walking forward and place first just your elbows down on the mat. Relaxing the head and keeping it in line with the spine. Variation of a sleeping swan. And you can stay here, invite the guests to stay here, or for those who can explore a little further, walk with your arms forward. Relaxing the forehead down to the mat and keeping your pelvis facing forward towards the mat. As we're preparing for section 4. On the inhale, slowly lift through the arms up, back to pigeon pose. Curl your right toes under and step back with your left leg. Downward facing dog as a transition. And on the exhale, release your knees down to the mat, extend your toes, and then push your hips back into child's pose. Toes together, and knees could be either shoulder or hip distance apart. And this time, try to keep your elbows off the floor, creating space along the sides of the torso, relaxing the forehead down to the mat, or using a rolled towel or Pilates ball under your forehead. Taking a recovery breath here. Slowly on the inhale, come back up to the tabletop position and place yourself down on the mat. At this point, we can invite to place a towel down on the mat if necessary. Releasing your forehead down and keeping your head off the floor, but more or less in line with the spine. Extending through the arms along the torso, palms facing down. Start engagement through the glutes. And on the next inhale, lift your chest up, keeping your shoulders off the floor. And then extend through the arms away from the torso. Crown of the head pointing forward. Inhale here. And on the next exhale, lift through the legs. Stretch out your fingers, stretch out your toes, and engage the inner thighs as you're lifting through the legs up. Modification here, of course, would be to lower your legs down on the floor, or even keeping your hands on the floor and simply lifting through the chest up. Locust pose. Breathing deeply into your belly. And then on the next exhale, release your head down and place your right cheek down on the floor. Take one cycle of recovery breaths. And then on the next inhale, return back to the center. And the option here now is to place your hands at your sacrum, interlacing your fingers. Inhale, lifting through the chest up, keeping your head in line with the spine as it prevents any tension in the back of the neck. Lifting through the legs and reaching through the hands towards your heels. Locust variation. Heading chest opening, and try to keep your hands slightly away from your sacrum. Breathing deeply, engaging posterior chain of the body. And on the next exhale, release your shoulders and lower your left cheek down on the floor. Taking one full recovery cycle of breath here. And for the third variation, you have the option of using one of the first two, or for those who are able to go further, we invite to get hold of the right ankle with the right hand, and then left ankle with the left hand. Try to bring the big toes as close as possible together. Inhale and exhale to prepare. And on the next inhale, float up with your legs, with your head, opening the chest into the bow pose. Trying to keep your thighs off the floor and opening the anterior chain of the body. We're staying here for 3 full cycle breaths or variation of the locust. Rounding the abdominals as you inhale and softening and rocking forward as you exhale. On the next inhale, release. And as you exhale, push yourself back into child's pose. Lots of care and slowing down as you're preparing the body towards relaxation. On the next inhale, come up to a seated position. And as you exhale, bring yourself to the middle of the mat. So at this point, you will be demonstrating facing the guests, as everyone will be facing towards you. Place your feet together, arms extended forward. Take a deep breath in here, and on the exhale, lean back slightly, keeping your chin parallel to the floor. As a teacher, you can demonstrate sideways so that it is comfortable for the guests to see. Preparation for the boat pose. For most people, this will be as far as they would want to go. However, we can invite them to lift one leg at a time off the mat. And on the exhale, release. Inhale, second leg up. And exhale, release. Option to lift both legs up off the mat, stretching out your toes, stretching out your fingers, focusing your gaze at the big toes. And then on the exhale, releasing the hands, releasing the legs, and slowly finding your way down onto the mat. Here you might choose to reposition yourself when you demonstrate the next asana, so that the guests can see you. We're placing your feet hip distance apart, relaxing through the shoulders. At this point, you can turn off the lights so there's nothing disturbing their yoga experience. Exhale, relax the body. And on the next inhale, lift through the hips up, engaging through the glutes, pressing the tops of your shoulders into the mat. Imagine like if you're trying to place one shoulder blade under the other. Pressing firmly into your heels, knees pointing forward. An option here to interlace your fingers and reach through the hands towards your heels. Into the bridge pose. Breathing deeply here. Then on the next exhale, slowly release. Bring your knees up towards the chest and circle slightly from side to side. Now at this point on the ship, you might have either a ball for Pilates class or perhaps a block. So I suggest you prepare both of those or one of those for the guests for the upcoming asana. So the inversion pose. Option number 1 is to keep your hips down on the floor. And then on the exhale, extending both legs up for inverted staff pose. Option number 2 is to keep the feet flat on the floor, get hold of the Pilates ball and to place it under the sacrum. It can also be a rolled up towel or a block, as I'll demonstrate later. And then as you exhale, extend the legs up. So this little prop will help to relax the abdominals as you extend through the toes up. Breathing deeply. And your next option, depending what you have at your disposal, is to use a yoga block. So you start in the bridge position, preparation for the bridge position, and then you slide the block under the sacrum, and as you exhale, extending legs up. We're going to keep the posture a little bit more active by pulling your toes towards your face, extending your arms out to the sides, and allowing the circulation to come from your feet down through the legs to your vital organs. This is a beautiful restorative asana that rejuvenates the body and prepares for Shavasana, the relaxation asana. So you can stay here for 3 to 5 full cycles of breaths, relaxing through the face and through the shoulders. Then slowly, when you're ready to come out, lower your feet down on the floor and remove the block from underneath your hips. Pull both knees up towards your chest, providing a little self-massage for your sacrum, circling from side to side. Take a deep breath in, and then on the exhale, release your right foot down on the floor and cross your left leg over the right. Take one long deep breath in, and then on the exhale, bring both of your knees to the right. Keeping your right hand on top of your knees and extend your left arm out. Head facing the direction of the arm. As you're lying down, twist. Relaxing through the shoulders, you can close your eyes and invite everyone to relax and focus on the depth of the breath. Taking one more deep breath in, and on the exhale, coming back to the center, bringing both knees up towards the chest, and then releasing your left foot down on the floor, crossing the right leg over the left, and then bring both of your knees to the left. Keeping this time your left hand on top of your knees, and extend your right arm up and out to the right. Turn your head in the direction of the extended arm. An option here is to keep the knees together, or for some, it might be more comfortable to keep the block, rolled up towel, or a ball between the knees. So read the room and make adjustments accordingly. And then on the last exhale, come back to the center and bring both knees up towards the chest. Slowly release the feet down on the floor, and then join the soles of the feet together as you open the knees out wide. At this point, adjustments, the feet could slide down a little bit more or come up closer to the glutes, depending on the level of flexibility. Relaxing through the knees. An option here to extend your arms out to the sides with the palms facing up, or interlace your forearms overhead. Relaxing the face and closing the eyes. There shouldn't be any discomfort in the reclined bound pose. Staying here for 3 full cycles of breaths. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Slowly, you can extend the arms out to the sides and extend the legs out wide for extended Shavasana. Providing this space allows everyone to extend the hand in line with the shoulder and feet slightly wider than the mat. Make sure that the head is comfortable, the shoulders are comfortable. Inviting everyone to check in with their body and make any adjustments necessary so that they can completely relax. We start Shavasana with taking 3 long deep breaths in through the nose and out through an open mouth. Allowing everyone to reconnect to the breath. Create a space to be quiet and still in the body and in the mind. Inviting everyone to scan the body mentally from the crown of their head to the tips of the toes. And with each exhalation, letting go of any tension they might notice. Create the time where you could be quiet, lowering down the music and allowing everyone a space to be. You as a teacher can slowly come up to a comfortable seated position. And holding the space for everyone to relax and to enjoy. At some point, we turn the music off completely. And allowing a couple minutes of complete silence. And now I invite everyone to bring the movement into your fingers and your toes, and moving your head from side to side, moving your ankles, your wrists, and slowly bringing your arms over your head as you're lying down, interlacing your fingers and turning your palms inside out, creating a full body stretch. And then on the exhale, bend through the knees and turn to your right side. At this point, you as a teacher guide everyone in a seated position. And then slowly make your way up to a comfortable seated position. It could be cross-legged, it could be with legs to the side, or on top of your heels. Whatever makes you comfortable. Bring your arms through the sides, look up. And on the exhale, joining the palms together at your heart. Bow of gratitude for being here now, showing up for yourself. I wish you a calm and fully present day.
and I'm hoping to see all of you at our next class. Thank you very much. Namaste. And of course, at the end of the class, to make sure that the guests have a whole holistic experience, remember to stay open for questions, comments, feedback, and perhaps to give someone additional free advice or invite them to upcoming seminar or a class. It has to be a very relaxed and calm journey from the moment the guests enter the studio to the moment they leave the studio, after which you can move on to your next mode of the day.